Name is Mariam. I'm a part of the Save Ridley campaign group. Since Tuesday the 31st of March, traders have been basically forced to actually remain in this building, occupy it into the shopping village until the landlord actually address their concerns and actually be achieved, like that they're able to achieve their demands. So some of the trades demands are rent affordability, security of lease, transparency and communication with all traders, and also in terms of compensation for the loss of income that they're forced to leave for the 2 to 3 months. Basically, the landlord haven't, if you ask any traders right now, they have never met the landlords. The landlords have always been acted on behalf of property management, who have been not really helpful. Have also just like we've been seeing over-policing, racist over-policing in our in this area, and the collective punishment of blaming traders for what happens outside and saying that, like, you know, in terms of there's antisocial behavior. So what the traders have been saying is like we've been constantly targeted, not addressed or communicated about, like, you know, in terms of their concerns. And when they talk about this refurbishment, it's clear that this refurbishment doesn't actually involve the traders. It doesn't benefit them. People have been here for many years, 10 plus years, 20 plus years actually, and what they've been asked is like, this is not charity. They actually pay rent, and the fact that they're being disregarded shows that, like, you know, by any means that they will continue doing their business. And if the landlord refuses to actually meet with them and achieve their demands, us as community members, we're gonna refuse for them to submit. So we've also been shaming the Hackney Council, because it's actually Hackney's council to actually ensure that, like, you know, hey, if you look outside and there's like a there's a plaque saying that, like, Hackney Council pledges to invest in the market and to listen to the residents. This is what Hackney residents are standing up. The traders are telling them, like, they're telling them what they want. And Hackney Council, the mayor of Hackney Council, hasn't been down to the market, hasn't spoken to the traders, hasn't done anything. But Hackney Mayor Caroline Woodley have been doing promotional videos to say, hey, I care about the community, I care about the traders. She doesn't care, because you can see by action. So traders are, like, you know, now continuing to, like, you know, make sure that demands are met. And what the landlord have done is, rather than actually emailing them and telling them, like, hey, let's have a meeting, what they said is, like, if you guys don't leave, anyone that is here, you won't even be considered. And none of them was even considered. But now it's just like they're just using intimidation. And if you look around, the electricity is off. So what they're doing is, like, intimidating. It's unlawful, because it's like, you know, this is not like, this is a civil, it's like a tenant and landlord issue. And we know that there's over-policing and how racism the police force is. So if it was a crime, then you would have police officers here. So it's the fact that, like, you know, the landlord is not getting their way. They're cutting off the electricity. People are, like, you know, that are older, like, you know, that have children, family responsibilities, are being forced to sleep on the floor. But community members have been showing up, giving beddings, donating food, doing rotas as well, because for us it's like, it's not just enough for us to say we want to save Ridley shopping village, but we have to show it in action. And so for us it's like, you know, how do we make sure that, like, you know, we're firm, our organising is firm on the traders' demand, that we're showing up on the night shifts, the morning shifts, and are here 24 hours, because bailiffs can come at any moment, and they can actually, like, you know, try to any moment and try to force that traders leave. And yeah, so right now we're just going to keep showing up, keep making sure that the demands are met, and that traders are not forced to accept something that no one would ever accept. And I'm trying to use this analogy that, like, the fact that nothing is in writing, imagine the traders were to say, like, you know, hey, you know what, we're not going to pay our rent. We're going to say we're going to pay our rent, like, whenever we want, but no payments are made. That would never happen. You would have people locking up the place. So it's just like, expect the same standards you want others to, like, you know, to like, you have to treat people the way that you want to be treated. But we know when there's profits, there's vultures of developers. So yeah, we're just going to keep showing up. Because it's like, it's more of the traders, most of them are African and Caribbean. So there's that unfair thing of, like, you have to go above and beyond what no business person from any other races will have to be expected to go through. So the fact that if there's like in the market, like, you know, if there is people that are doing whatever, it's like if they're considered as being troublemakers, then it's the traders' fault. They're attracting the troublemakers. And we've always known that, like, you know, things that we love, our culture, our community, has always been overly policed, criminalized. So it's just like, this is just an example of like them, like, you know, them loving up our culture, but kicking people out, blaming them for things that is above their control. So I think it's like, yeah. So this is just, there's no fault at theirs. But it's just that they will never be able to, they will never be perfect to them because they don't see them as business people. They see these people as troublemakers.
But when they say like,
it's just, no, they just generally say like, if there's people, but they just said if people, loud music or people are just coming as well, like it's just more of anything that the markets is not, we're not in a library. We're not in a library. People come to the market, people are sitting in the corner, people are jamming, people are talking to their friends, and for them, these are not the people that they want in the market. If I'm being real, I'm not even going to pander to what they're even trying to say, because for us, is that why are we having to think about who are the troublers, who are not? These people, these developers are offshore, they have an offshore account, they are not from our community. So it's like, when you think about, like, you know, let's be the good people, let's be polite. No, why do we have to be polite? Like, we are, like, you know, we're doing our business, they're doing, and I say not me, but it's like they're doing their business. What happens outside, that's someone else's concern. I think it's like, you know, the resolution is, until the traders' demands are met, which is, as I said before, is like, you know, rent affordability, security, communication, which is the bare minimum, until that's met and they don't have things in right and that is written, then traders are not leaving, because like once they leave, and the compensation for the loss of their income, because these people have families, they have responsibility, they have livelihoods. So until the things that we see as basic is met, then we will leave. The traders will be able to leave with confidence that they'll be able to be returned back. And this for refurbishment is not at the expense of themselves, like, you know. So it's just like, if the landlord wants to refurbish and wants to actually invest in this market, in this indoor shopping village, then that means that they have to meet the demands. And if not, then we will be continuing to like bring more blankets and get as much people down here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Come on down to Ridley.
Please come down, tell a friend, and tell your family.